Hello again everyone and welcome to part 12 of the Life on the Railways. I hope you're enjoying this series so far. Been going on for quite a few weeks now. Remember to obviously like, share and subscribe if you like this video. Today we're going to be looking at the railway works. As soon as the railway system began to develop, it was realised that companies would need somewhere to build and service locomotives and rolling stock. The first engineering works were built in Shildon, County Durham, on the Stockton and Darlington line, where in 1826 the engineer Timothy Hackworth began to work with just 20 men. It was all very primitive at first. The only artificial light was provided by candles, and there were no machine tools, just hand lathes and screw jacks for lifting. In time, a new railway village developed where once there had been 4 houses and a wet swampy field, according to the original surveyor. Far grander projects were begun by other railway companies that set the pattern for railway works and towns. The Great Western Railway chose a site next to the tiny market town of Swindon in Wiltshire for their works. By 1844 there were facilities for repairing and building locomotives, as well as a foundry for casting the different parts. By 1860 there was a rolling stock mill for making iron rails, and large numbers of Welsh workers who had experience in this kind of work were recruited. The carriage works were added 8 years later. By this time, Swindon was one of the country's largest engineering works, equipped with all of the latest tools and demanded the highest levels of precision workmanship. Very early on in the development, it was obvious that the old town would never hold the expanding workforce, and New Swindon was developed as a model village consisting of neat terraces of stone cottages well spaced out. The company set new standards of welfare. In 1855 they built the Mechanics Institute with a large hall for meetings and concerts, classrooms and a library. It is a measure of just how forward-thinking the company was that Swindon did not get a public library until 1943. Many of the big railway companies were equally enlightened, providing all kinds of public buildings. At Crewe in Cheshire, for example, where the Grand Junction Railway established works in 1843, one of their first tasks was to build a new church, which incorporated cast iron pillars made at the works. The railway companies relied on their chief engineers, from Robert Stephenson, who built the famous rocket, to Sir Nigel Gresley, who designed the record-breaking Mallard, to provide them with the finest steam locomotives. But they were equally reliant on the expertise and craftsmanship of the workforce, who did everything from forging massive connecting rods to screwing the upholstery for carriages. The working areas where they carried out their wide variety of tasks ranged from those where boilers were riveted, producing a literally deafening sound, to the carriage works that were heavens of peace by comparison. The machinery was expensive, and anyone found neglecting or damaging a machine would be instantly dismissed, and even minor offences could lead to a loss of a day's pay. The penalties were harsh, but they ensured that standards were amongst the highest of any industry in the land. And as always, we end this video with an interesting fact. Alfred Williams described the start of the working day at Swindon in his book Life in a Railway Factory, published in 1915. As soon as the 10 minutes hooter sounds, the men came teeming out of various parts of the town in great numbers, and by 5 minutes to 6 the streets leading to the entrances were packed with a dense crowd of men and boys. It is a mystery where they all came from. 10,000 workmen. They were like an army pressing forward to battle, tramp, tramp, tramp. Still they poured down the streets with the regularity of trained soldiers. So there we go, folks.